author to Seth Godin. And if you haven't heard of him, you should check out his blog and click on his giant forehead right here. The amazing thing about Seth Godin is that he is able to take these huge, wonderful ideas and turn them into itty-bitty, relevant books that you can sit down and read in an hour. And the one that I'm going to be talking about today is called The Dip. It's right here. And this is a book written for people with huge goals, probably like most of you. And it's about the long slog in between actually coming up with the goal and then the months, years, sometimes even decades until you actually see that goal happen. So this is a book about that path and about encouraging people to stick with it if you really have a worthwhile goal. So let's go for it. I'll tell you a little bit about it. This curve describes the trajectory that most big goals follow. I'm going to talk about it using some very ambiguously gendered stick figures, and I'm sorry, but this is actually the best that I can draw. So let's use Terry to start. So all three of these figures are totally passionate about the martial arts. They all want to become triple black belts and then go on to Hollywood where they can consult for fight scenes for like martial arts movies. So Terry goes to her first class, and the fun of the first class is really high because you go home at the end of the class and it's very obvious to see that you learned something. So from the start where you knew nothing to the end of the class where you knew something, and you're kind of just riding this high all along because you're learning so quickly and seeing results. So they all go to the first class and love it, and then 5 classes in, they hit this dip. So Terry, after 5 classes, is really realizing that this project is going to take a ton of work. She is going to have to go to the dojo in between all of her lessons, which means she can't hang out with her friends all the time, and she just drops out of the game right there. She decides that she doesn't want to make this huge commitment, it's too much work, so she quits really before she has even started. So that leaves us with Pat and Jamie, I guess. So after about 4 or 5 years, they're just plodding along. They're both double black belts, still working really hard and committed to achieving this huge goal. But here's something interesting happens. Jamie starts teaching classes at the dojo. And what she realizes is that she loves being able to say, "Bow to your sensei," and then having everybody just hit the mat. And then she also starts doing some administrative work, taking on some of the marketing, and she really at this point, without even realizing it, gives up on her long-term goal. She decides to just settle with her current level of expertise and be satisfied with what it is that she has achieved so far. So instead of continuing on with her long-term goal, she really just settles and accepts what she has at this point in the curve. Unlike, who is this? Pat. So Pat continues on, and maybe another year later, gets that third triple black belt. Super proud of himself, still really going hard, and at this point, he actually decides to take his game up a step. So instead of spending 2 nights a week doing a different activity, trying to be well-rounded by going to cooking classes, he decides he's going to spend those nights at the dojo too, and he's going to perfect all of his technique and really make sure that he is the best triple black belt out there. And that's exactly what he does, and then he sends out his resume and a few demo tapes, and then before you know it, maybe after 8 years, a long curve, he is on the set in Hollywood working as a consultant for a martial arts movie, which features George Clooney, of course, and I get to go to. So after 8 years, he finally made it through the curve. So this area between the beginning of a goal when everything is really fun and happy, between all of the long work and then eventual success is called the dip, which is right here. Now, if you are seriously, totally committed 100% to a goal, the dip is your best friend. Because in between the fun and games, all the hard work, and the eventual goal, like the eventual goal achievement, people are dropping like flies. Maybe like Jamie, they're realizing, or Terry, whoever that was, they're realizing this is too much work, I'm just not willing to make the commitment and quitting. Or maybe like the other figure, they are halfway committed, half-heartedly, get pretty, cover some good distance, definitely reach a level of expertise, but instead of committing to the goal 100%, they stop short and continue to drop like flies too. So if you are totally committed, this dip is helping to weed everybody else out which makes it much more likely that you will be the person who rises to the top, who actually does pursue that goal. Now, here is the dangerous part. If you are not 100% committed, the dip is your enemy, because every day that you spend pursuing that goal, investing energy, time, money, with the eventual outcome of quitting, that's just all of that investment lost. So this is a pretty big concept for a few reasons. First of all, because I know that anyone who watches this vlog has a lot of big goals. So this curve describes you. And my challenge for this week, for you, is to take a look at the dips in your life and ask yourself if you are more like the person who is totally committed, going to make it, or are you just half-hearting your way through, just half-assing it, keeping your fingers crossed that good things will happen and you'll get there. Take a personal inventory and ask yourself to really realistically assess your own commitment. Because if you are sort of halfway committed to a large goal, you might as well just quit now and find something that is really going to excite you enough that you will want to commit 100%. And then also, just assess. Take a realistic assessment, look at yourself, decide if you are in it for the long haul, and if you are, great, and if not, there's nothing wrong with quitting as long as you're quitting the right things, which will give you a little bit more time to find that one passion that you truly do have, that you want to invest all of your energy in. If you'd like to learn more about this, the book is awesome, super easy to read. Look into Seth Godin's blog, click his forehead, and that will send you right to it. Or just look on Amazon, used books, find a cheap copy. So have a great week. Thank you for watching. Bye.